So nearby, Brad and Lucas, people can't see you, but we're all wearing Hawaiian shirts today, and I feel very summery.
Yeah, it's not looking summery outside though, is it?
It's not, and we're not talking about something summery. We're talking about the Dark Lord of the Sith. In Star Wars canon, the Empire is a galaxy-spanning force that has about 10 million soldiers under its command and controls the near limitless resources of entire solar systems. Weird then to think that, according to the Star Wars canon, they couldn't afford to outfit the life support systems of one of their most valuable assets due to budgetary concerns. And of course, talking about Darth Vader's armor. So, do you guys know about like the whole like Star Wars Legends canon and the new Disney canon?
So I'm aware that there used to be like a lot of extended universe stuff that the moment like Disney kind of made that call at some point of just everything from previous is completely wiped, but we're going to take a lot of those old stuff and bring it into new canon in our own way.
They did what a lot of people do, so it's all shit, get rid of it. It's like they just looked at it and went, nah, fuck it, let's just start again.
It was confusing as fuck.
It was confusing and often contradictory, but one of the things we're talking about today comes from that Legends canon, because it's hilarious. So, you know Darth Vader, right? He's pretty scary.
Who?
Who, yeah.
Pink armor, right, I believe.
The Hello Kitty Darth.
No, you can't be in pink armor. That's not authentic.
No one would want to see that.
Oh man, should we talk about, people don't get that reference for Star Wars, Battlefront 2?
The newest Battlefront 2, not the old one, yeah.
Where there was that legendary post on Reddit from that person at EA, like, oh, the sense of pride and accomplishment, because the guy was asking why we've got to pay money to play as Darth Vader. One of the other responses that kind of got lost in the source was EA saying, we're not doing cosmetics for that game because nobody wants to play as a pink Darth Vader, to which everyone's like, yes, I do want to play as pink Darth Vader. What you mean though is Disney don't want pink Darth Vader because it's not canon and it weakens the overall synergy of the brand.
What I want to know is, why was pink Darth Vader the only option? You could have had where he has bits of chrome, or he could have a missing bit of his helmet, or he could have had electronics exposed. They didn't have to do off-canon stuff.
Because the most bizarre thing that bland executive with no creativity could think of was, oh my god, pink Darth Vader.
Even though that'd be hilarious.
It would be great, and I'm sure plenty of people would have given $20 for a skin of that as well.
How can they say that and look at Fortnite? I don't know what it was trending on Twitter Fortnite memes. I don't play Fortnite, but I was looking at the memes and the amount, I can't believe that game exists sometimes of here's the Martin Luther King I have a dream speech as you just got an alien in the background doing this. What is this video game?
For little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Oh,
it's sort of bad for Darth Vader's cred that he's in that game and he can do all of the dances.
Well, that's the thing.
He can ride around on scooters.
So do you know about how Disney has had some really weird caveats for people wanting to represent Darth Vader and other characters in their canon? For example, with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was originally going to appear in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Do you want to go to Star Wars World or Disney World, I suppose?
But they go to that fan site where it's the Disney fan site, don't they? And then it's they've got the stormtroopers and obviously the famous scene with all of the Disney princesses.
Yeah. One of the things that they pitched to Disney for that scene is, can we have a shot of Kylo Ren? And they're like, what do you want to do with Kylo Ren? I went, well, we want to have him in the background throwing a tantrum and have someone say he's got daddy issues. Which, he does.
That's canon.
Yeah, and it is canon. And Disney went, no, because that will weaken the character of Kylo Ren.
So, do you mean the character that throws tantrums
in the first
movie and has daddy issues in the first movie?
But they didn't want to argue with Disney, so they went, fine, we won't put Kylo Ren in. And that's just one of the examples of and that EA decision of you can't have pink Darth Vader. That's not them saying that, that's Disney saying you can't put customization options on Darth Vader because we want Darth Vader looks like this.
Of course.
And speaking of Darth Vader looks like this, in the Legends canon, he looks like that because of budgetary constraints.
Is this their way of trying to explain how in the films they couldn't afford the most best looking armor? So in the extended universe, they're like, oh, well, we couldn't actually afford it in the story as well.
Yeah, so Joe, people always criticise Disney for walking stuff back and trying to explain stuff or mistakes that they've made or Like, just retroactively trying to explain things away that make no
Very
sense.
racist cartoons.
Yeah, like put them in the super secret double Disney vault. But they've been doing this with Star Wars for years, and virtually everything about Darth Vader that either doesn't make sense or looks stupid has an explanation, and usually the explanation is they couldn't afford it. Which is a hilarious explanation when you consider that it's the Empire who was bankrolling his transformation into a cyborg.
I think plastoid is the one that sticks with me the most. Like, our stormtroopers look like they're made of plastic, but it's a secret material called plastoid.
Yeah, that's like, blaster fire and lightsaber resistant. Smash cut now to just like a montage of stormtroopers eating shit from blaster fire. Do you have a favourite one of those, Lucas? Like something they try to explain away in like extended universe material that makes no sense? Because there's so many examples of this.
I mean, there is. I mean, I've got to just piss off the fanboys, haven't I, and just say midichlorians.
Oh, midichlorians is great.
It's my favourite thing because just how much it triggers Star Wars fans.
And how much they've tried to ignore that midichlorians exist.
They mention in The Mandalorian that, like,
They brush
Grogu,
against it,
like-
don't they? Yeah.
Grogu has a high M count.
They don't even want to say it.
And it's that they're so scared of that word.
But because, like, the canon of the movies is now all the mainline Star Wars movies and the few things that they've released since then, midichlorians are canon, and all the shit we're talking about isn't. But my favourite one is that there's like a Star Wars comic where they say a bunch of rebels snuck into a stormtrooper resupply centre and changed all the sights on their guns. So that's why stormtroopers miss. Joke is like, you have Obi-Wan, only stormtroopers are this accurate, and then they miss constantly.
Last points, too accurate for sand people. Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. Too accurate for sand people.
That's such a better, more funny example than the, oh no, Jedi use their powers to like make them slightly miss at all times. Okay, well, what about the non-Jedi characters then?
Everyone's a Jedi.
It's that thing, is like, it makes no sense because you literally have Obi-Wan saying only stormtroopers are this accurate, and then the stormtroopers never hit shit.
Or the other one, if they were missing on the Death Star because they wanted to follow the ship back to the base, which does make more sense.
But that's just, that's fans trying to explain away a mistake by like, no, it super secretly makes tons of sense.
That stormtrooper had banged his head. They adjusted the sights on his helmet.
And that's just something Star Wars has been doing for years. And in regards to Darth Vader, virtually every aspect of his design that's like a little bit, why did they do that? They explain it away by saying budgetary concerns. And all I can think of when I'm saying this is just that moment in The Simpsons where Xena's like, every time you see something like that, a wizard did it.
Yeah, well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it.
I see, all right, yes. But in episode AG4...
Wizard.
Ah, for Clavin out.
It's like, so every time you see something that's wrong with Star Wars, the Emperor did it, which ends up being kind of accurate. It's always the Emperor. The reason why Darth Vader's armour sucks ass is because the Empire couldn't afford it. And if you're wondering what parts of his armour suck ass, it looks like it works in the film. The extended universe material, prior to Disney getting rid of it all, went to great, almost pornographic lengths to describe how much agony Darth Vader is in at any waking moment. Like, every aspect of that costume causes him distress in some way. For example, like the helmet, they say that it constantly provides like random feedback so he can never get a good night's sleep. All of his armour's too heavy so he can't move his arms properly. And the one that gets me is that his shoes don't fit. So Joe Darth Vader walks forward like that, like dun, dun, that iconic Darth Vader strut.
Lord Vader, this is an unexpected pleasure. We're honoured by your presence.
You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. I'm here to put you back on schedule.
I assure you, Lord Vader, my men are working as fast as they can.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
Fun fact behind the scenes is because the actor playing him was like 8 feet tall. But they explain away in canon that Darth Vader's shoes don't fit. So he has to stomp forward and lean forward into his steps so that he can walk properly without falling over. And just think about what I just said there. Darth Vader's shoes don't fit. What about that doesn't make sense to you?
See, I'm sort of on the fence here, because on the one hand, it sounds stupid, but then on the other hand, maybe it's intentional, because the angrier he is, the stronger he is with the Force.
Which is something that people are trying to say, maybe that's what they're, but
But
I'm saying Darth Vader's shoes don't fit. There's something we're missing here. His shoes don't fit.
Oh wait, he doesn't have feet?
Yeah, he doesn't have legs! He doesn't have legs!
Try it.
I guess, like, he can make his phantom shoes too small for his phantom feet.
No, like, he doesn't have legs.
Yeah, no, but that's because you get phantom pains when you have, like, missing limbs,
Yeah,
right?
but I don't mean that, I mean that. He has boots that don't fit on the artificial legs that they made for him.
Wait, so he has artificial legs, and then over the top he has shoes, but they didn't give him the right shoes? Why?
Exactly! How stupid is that?
And why would that affect his ability to walk?
Because, I mean, think about it logistically. If things aren't in proportion, like your feet are in proportion to the rest of your body to give you enough, like, you know, balance. So if you have tiny feet on a big body, like, that's gonna be harder.
But he doesn't have tiny feet. He's got the right size feet with the wrong size shoes.
Yeah,
that's why I got confused, because I thought you were saying he has tiny feet, not tiny shoes.
No, he has feet, but they're just not the same, and that's what makes it hilarious. So we're expected to believe that the Empire rebuilt Darth Vader, giving robot legs, and then built shoes specifically that don't fit. And at no point during his career did he ever ask for boots that fit.
The thing that I find strange about that is that the reason why wearing shoes that don't fit isn't good is because it's uncomfortable. He can't feel his feet.
But it does make it difficult to move around, which is, again, a bullshit comic explanation for why he walks like an idiot.
I don't think it. I think if I walked around in shoes that were too small, I could still walk around. I think that explanation they've given is bullshit.
Probably walk a bit more awkward.
Yeah, but just
from the pain, not from the wear.
But just keep in mind, Brad, he has robot feet they built, and they couldn't get the guy's shoes that fit. They built the robot feet and then put shoes on that are the wrong size, and then he just dealt with it. He also, like you said, he gets feedback in his helmet all the time. Apparently, there's like do you know that thing on his chest, apparently he doesn't know what any of that stuff does because no one told him. And it just beeps randomly and it pisses him off and it stops him from getting sleep. Or Joe, where his artificial limbs, where they're anchored to his body, they did that so haphazardly that they continually tug on what remains of his flesh and nerves. They don't properly clean the inside of his suit, so he has to come out of it every now and again and get scrubbed because his skin just keeps rotting off.
So is he basically wearing Penance's outfit from the Marvel comics?
Basically, yeah. Look up that if you want to be like, man, comics got edgy for a while, didn't they?
I mean, I think what should happen is, the Emperor sets up a gold star system for him, and he's like, every time you kill a youngling, you get a gold star, and each gold star gets one upgrade to your outfit.
But that's the thing. That's what makes it so funny. Because
the video game route.
They also say, Joe, the helmet itself, the outfit, he said, looks like plastic. They say that they had to use a cheaper alternative to what they would have had available for, a top-of-the-line cybernetic. And the actual quote is, budgetary issues. Keep in mind, in this same canon, they built 150,000 Star Destroyers. They built mile-long spaceships, but couldn't get a guy some shoes.
See, that reflects real life then, isn't it? That all of the budget went to military and nothing else.
But he's part of the military. And you know what was even funnier as well? That was a great Red Letter Media video where they go through this. And they just lose their shit for about 5 minutes where the surgery that Darth Vader had to get done to turn him into Darth Vader was done, I shit you not, in the Emperor Palpatine Reconstruction Hospital. Which means that Palpatine named hospitals after himself.
Emperor Palpatine Surgical Reconstruction Center. That's because it's the first thing you're gonna do when you take over. There's a hospital after me.
I mean, when you're in charge, you've got the power to do so.
But does that mean I'll have a Darth Vader wing?
But just keep that in mind that they built two Death Stars, but Darth Vader couldn't get shoes, and every time he asked, we can't afford it.
Dear God. And
this was canon. This is not this was canon for about 20 years. And do when people say, oh, Disney's ruining Star Wars? No, Star Wars was already ruined. The Earth was salted and Disney managed to plant something and get it to grow in it again. Like, it was already ruined, and that's hilarious to me. Like, yeah, budgetary concerns. Like, as they're stood on like the mile-long spaceship.
Dear God. I was like, could they not just go get some Beskar for him? No.
No,
None
and
of
as you mentioned, like, Brad, there were several fan theories to try and explain away this explanation, which is like, oh, the Emperor did it on purpose, because that way, if Darth Vader's constantly in pain, he can channel the dark side more. There's other theories that the Emperor did it so that Darth Vader could never get powerful enough to challenge him.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hilarious that the two fan theories directly contradict each other. One says that it's to make him more powerful, the other one say it actually makes him weaker.
Yeah, but that's because, you know, all Star Wars fans make perfect sense and are perfectly entwined with one another.
Yeah, right, it all makes sense in their own head, but I just love that the two fan explanations for this shitty explanation that was a response to the previous movies directly contradict one another, and they both can't possibly be true.
You're saying that a fan explanation of a fan explanation of like a stupid thing in Star Wars they didn't really think about is maybe not true?
Yeah. Well, you know, none of this changes about Darth Vader is an iconic character.
Yes.
I just think it's hilarious that if you go by the Legends canon, every time Darth Vader's on screen, just like, oh. He just wants to die. He hates it. He doesn't want to live anymore.
I mean, that would make more sense as to why he just, you know, heroically throws the Emperor down a pit of doom.
Well, to be fair, like, yeah, if you were Darth Vader, and like you spent like what 30, 40 years just in like unending agony, and you found out it's because the guy who sat on the moon-sized spaceship told you they couldn't afford it, you'd suplex him down like a fucking mine shaft, wouldn't you? No!
Can we get people to go onto like all of the various Star Wars wikis and add a little trivia addendum that says that whenever Darth Vader kills anyone, he always tries their shoes on just in case?
He can't take his shoes. That's the thing that gets me though. He's got robot legs. I love how it took you that long to get that. Because you were, oh yeah, it's like, no wait a minute, he hasn't got legs.
See, yeah, that's why I was confused. I thought you were talking about his feet, like his robot feet being his shoes, but like, no, literally he has. Why does he even need shoes?
Yeah, they could just build robot legs.
Because it doesn't make. That's why I didn't. Because it doesn't make sense that you would.
Oh, they give him robot legs.
Just wind it up.
I've never seen a robot that needed shoes. I don't get it.
That's what makes it hilarious. They give him robot legs and then put shoes on top of them that don't fit. Because fuck you, we can't afford it. Oh. Star Wars. And you know, if you want to keep myself, Lucas, and Brad in fancy Hawaiian shirts, you can join the Fiend Patreon. And if you would also like to potentially win a shirt, not as cool as this, but you can, win a shirt as part of the competition that we're doing.
T-shirt, Carl.
T-shirt, damn it! I just in my head at the same.
You keep saying the word shirt, and I know someone out there would complain.
Yeah, complain on the internet. Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, if you join our Patreon, we do a competition once a month where you can win. Any piece of merch, any T-shirt from our Psycho merch store. Sorry. You can win any T-shirt from our merch store, including the stuff that Psycho does as well.
Yeah, so if you're already swagged out with Fat Fiend gear, you can go check out like the really awesome stuff they have on Psycho. And
yeah, like, that's the thing. I've realized we're gonna have to step up our merch game, and we are in the process of like updating our merch because like it looks real. Well, we made what we could with the money and funds we had available. It's like when I'm seeing the sick shit they've got, I'm like, well, the Fact Fiend logo seems kind of boring in comparison, right? So we need to start working on that, including like that Princess Leia design we had that Nisha's been formatting, so we can get that back.
Oh, that's Rey.
The Rey, sorry, and we can't do T-pose Leia.
Princess Leia.
Oh, we did have a T-pose layer out though.
We did, yeah, but I lost the original artwork, so.
Oh.
I paid for it as well. So we are going to get like the Rey one and stuff, and yeah, we were doing that once a month. Anything else we need to plug today?
Give some money to some dog charities.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Also, yeah, we've got PO box now as well. So if you're really angry and you want us to definitely read your comment, you want to like tell us why we're wrong about Star Wars or why The Last Jedi sucks. If you go to our Patreon, join, and write a letter to the PO box, I can promise you that I'll read it and then immediately throw it away. But at least you'll know that I've read it.
I mean, that's the thing is we're trying to obviously do unboxing of the PO box when it gets full enough, and that just means we can like on camera get Karl just reading angry Star Wars comments in real life.
I always said the same thing of like if it's like Jason Manford joke, isn't it? Of like footballers when they get like abuse on the pitch.
Should just stand there for 5 minutes after them.
For the wage they're on at the end of the day, they should just stand there and take it. Just stay an extra half an hour, and it's like I'm the same logic. If you want to pay some money to the Patreon to like tell me that I'm shit or that my reading of Star Wars is incorrect or that you hate The Last Jedi, go for it. Because you know those people that they still get mad.
Or if you want to send Karl some shoes that are slightly too small.
Well, Joe, I think my feet are 10.5. Which someone's going to get mad about. Because I remember that. Because like, you were telling me this, weren't you, Lucas, of you met a guy once who actually gave a shit how big his feet were. And it was really weird.
Yeah, I had it once where I had my shoes taken off in a house party. And someone walked in, looked at my docs. I'm like, whose shoes are these? I was like, they're mine. He's like, how big are your feet? I was like, don't know, maybe like a size 8. He's like, well, mine are way bigger than that. Oh, cool. Hi, hello,
yeah,
cool.
They're my favourite people. It's like every time I mention how tall I am, you always get someone in the comments who has to like be like, I'm taller. And it's like no one gives a fuck.
Literally the last time we mentioned this, someone was in the comments like, well, Karl's not that tall, I'm 6'8".
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, cool, okay, good for you.
Good for you. Like, I'm glad that you make that like, you know, a big enough part of your personality where it's the first thing that comes out online. It's the same thing with like feet sizes. I had once like I'm 10.5, which I think is like slightly above average. It's like, oh, you're only putting that half on so it sounds bigger. It's like, no, because I want shoes that fit. My ego isn't dependent on the fact I wear big shoes. It's like, I just want shoes that fit.
The funny thing is, it's real easy for me to find shoes, but when people have got like size 14s, you get fucked on it. So I'm quite happy that I've got smaller feet.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's the two kind of like people you meet, isn't it? Like, the people who like make it their entire personality, and the people who are confident enough where they don't, who are just annoyed by the fact nothing is in their size. I wonder if they are going to get that. Are we going to get people like sending us like messages? So that's going to be a pretty baller move, innit? Of like someone sending us a PO box message about I'm taller than you, and it's like thanks.
But I should say, you know, we'd respect it because at least you went to all that effort rather than just leaving a comment.
The thing is that that's going to a lot of effort to be like, I've got a small penis. So that's always the thing. It's the only thing. I know it's like it's an unfair stereotype.
It's not, you know, necessarily physiologically, but it's the small wanger energy.
It's the small dick energy, isn't it? Of like someone being that insecure about something nobody else gives a fuck about. Like, I love that. I think it's that Ask Reddit thread or something like that. Oh, it's like that thread that went viral on Reddit of like the girl who found out that her boyfriend had lied about the size of his feet for about 4 years or something like that.
And he'd been like stuffing his shoes or something.
Yeah, like she put his shoes on to go like put the bins out or something. There was newspaper at the end of all of his shoes. And it turns out that he'd been lying and saying his feet were like 2-3 sizes bigger than they actually are because he was embarrassed by it. To his girlfriend, who he slept with. The woman who was willing to like put his penis inside her mouth, and she was like, and he was embarrassed to tell how big his feet were.
Was he expecting her to like? They sat down one day, and she's like, "Look, there's something really important. I've got to tell you this big secret." She's like, "Oh my god, what is it? Are you married? Have you cheated on me? All this kind of stuff." No. My feet are actually 1 or 2 sizes smaller. She slaps him across the face, shatters the glass, necks him.
Well, that's what makes it so interesting. There are guys out there who are that insecure about it.
But why? The only way I can get it is if you were a grown adult who was say your height, like 6'3", 6'4", who had like size 2 feet. Because in that situation, it's uncomfortable and it's going to look weird.
You've got holes.
Like,
but you know at that point, because Karl would be walking around like Darth Vader.
Yeah, dun 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 dun.
It's like that's the situation where I get it. But if you're just someone who has like what size 8, size 9, like, what's the cutoff point to where people are like suddenly it's embarrassing?
Well, someone on Reddit is going to know, and they're going to be annoyed about it. They're going to make it their entire personality. It's like there will never be an end to the list of things that men will feel insecure about that no one else notices.
Including the idea of like, you know, the pink Darth Vader.
Pink Darth Vader.
There's an exec out there just terrified of that idea.
Well, it's it's something I always keep an eye out for when I go like shopping. Like during like
what, pink Darth Vader?
No, during
I always have him in mind.
When you're out shopping, just look for boyfriends and husbands recoiling in fear. Lucas knows. when their girlfriend hands them their purse.
And literally, before you even finish your sentence, I already had my arms stuck out.
You knew
like,
exactly what I was on about, and you're like, the men who they get handed up and refuse to hold it.
The only time I remember being handed a purse, I put it on and looked at myself in the mirror and was like, I could pull this off.
A purse is just a satchel with a different name.
Yeah, I normally steal the purse and make myself look good in it.
Yeah, it's like
Eat it.
It's like my pink dinosaur bag. I love my pink dinosaur bag. I've got a gym bag that's just bright pink with dinosaurs on it. And I got that because I was just sick of going to the gym and because the gym floor's black. And you put your bag on the floor because every gym bag is black. And it's like, where's my bag? So I got a bright pink bag. And just the amount of people like, I won't walk around if I had one of those. It's like, I'm really sorry that you're so insecure in your sexuality you couldn't carry your stuff in a bag.
Never forget the diaper bag that's camo that has daddy written on it.
The tactical diaper bag. It's like, fellas, is it gay to change the shit-covered nappy of the baby you sired? Oh, that's great. I love it. It's like it never ceases to crack me up. Of like just like there's nothing more fragile than like just some men's ego.
Yeah.
And the things that they'll have to do, all the things they'll try and do to save, like that one guy just stuffing his shoes to hide from his girlfriend. It's like she's
already sleeping with you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She's already seen his feet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, at no point has she looked at his feet and gone, hang on, they're the wrong size.
Clearly, she doesn't give enough of a fuck to notice that, like, when they're outside, his feet have grown exponentially bigger.
It's like, all I can think of is that great moment, It's Always Sunny, with like the lawyer with the small hands. When they fly off. It's like, nobody look, nobody look, nobody look, nobody look. That's all I can think of, and that's what they look like.
It would be his brother! Oh my God! Oh my God, nobody look! Nobody look! Nobody look!
It's like, you'll notice that I have normal sized hands. It's like, who gives a fuck? Perfect. So we'll get some fun stuff out of that one.